right, Dr. Joey Skelton with Brenner Children's Hospital is here with us answering your questions about health and diet nutrition. This person is asking, can I substitute diet soda and zero-calorie drink mixes for my water intake and still lose weight? I'm just so sick of drinking plain water.
Yes, you can. There was some research that came out a few years ago where they were questioning whether the artificial sweeteners fool your body. Overall, what we have determined that is using artificial sweeteners is way better than using full sugar sodas. So there's still some of that that's out there, but absolutely, I think that's a perfectly reasonable change to make. There's also a lot of other fun things to do. If you don't want to get artificial sweeteners, you could use the fruit infusers, which sort of add a lot of flavor into there. A lot of different options that you can do with that. But absolutely, I think that's a great change to make.
All right, this person says, is it harder to lose weight after you pass 25 years of age?
No, and that's a great question because they used to think it was maybe around 30 or 40 years of age, our metabolism would start to change. Actually, a really well done study just came out recently where they think it's actually more like after 60, that we think that most of the time that we think our metabolism's kind of slowing and we're putting on weight because of slow metabolism, is really probably just our jobs are getting more sedentary and we're not getting as much daily activity. So as long as you're doing a wide variety of exercise, keeping your muscle mass at a good level, absolutely. I think most things are pointing to now that you can maintain that metabolism on until older age.
All right, this person says, how can I get my child to eat healthier when she's so picky?
Picky is tough, and actually there's been good research that's showing that when you have picky eaters, it can make changes harder to make. And so one thing with kids is always remember that you have to offer foods to them 15 to 20 times before they'll actually eat it regularly. We tend to give up after 2 to 3. And you don't want to get into this push and battle with your child over that, because the more you sort of push, the more they're going to sort of do the opposite. We were all teenagers at one point, and we know how we can behave with that. So the main thing is, as I spoke earlier, focus on how you eat. Focus on eating 3 meals a day, offering food as a parent, but don't push it on them. And also continue to offer. Don't make a big deal. Don't coax it. Your job as a parent is not to be the food police or the food pusher. Just offer the food. One thing with picky eaters you got to be careful about, at every meal, offer food that you know that they'll eat. That way you know that they're getting some nutrition, but don't give in to that tendency to go get them something that you know that they'll eat. Because if a child is served a food and they're kind of picky and they don't want to eat what's on their plate, and they know that all they got to do is wait you out, and in half an hour they're going to get something else to eat that they'll like, they'll never learn to try new foods. You don't want to starve them. That's why you want to have a food on every plate that you know that they're going to eat.
Okay. This person says, I've been eating a banana every morning for 10 years for potassium. Is that good or bad?
So I can beat that. I've eaten a banana every morning for the past 20 years. I can hardly, if I don't have, the only thing I need more than coffee in the morning is a banana. And that's absolutely fine. You're going to hear a lot of people make a big deal about the high carb content of bananas. Bananas are great fruit. We tend to only eat one at a time. If your kid's eating several of those a day, well, that might be where you don't really want to put limits on it, but try to offer other fruits to go with that. But eating a banana every morning is perfectly fine. I actually recommend it because I love it.
Okay, and this person says, is it bad to give my child too much fruit?
No, unless that's the only thing that they're eating. I think continuing to offer it, as well as offer a wide variety of other foods, because oftentimes kids will get kind of bored with it. The one thing I would kind of caution, again, back to that idea of what we talk about, how you eat, of only eating during meals, 3 regularly scheduled meals during the day, is some kids really get a taste for fruit and they like the sweet, and we like it because it's healthy, and then they end up sort of snacking on fruit all day. I would still keep the time that we eat into the meal times. Think of yourself as a restaurant, not a Waffle House where you're open 24/7. In our house, we eat breakfast, lunch, you have snack time after school, and dinner. And they can eat the fruit that they want at every meal if you're offering it, but only have them eat it during meal times.
Interesting. Okay. And then this person says, what are good breakfast foods to eat? Obviously not the donuts.
Right. Donuts, I have to remember where I am. I'm in Winston-Salem, the birthplace of one certain donut company. But, we do need to remember that those are they're treats. They're sometimes food. For foods that you have on a daily basis with breakfast, you want to have a well-balanced breakfast. Which means you're going to have a lean protein, you're going to have hopefully a complex carbohydrate and a fruit or vegetable. Especially with teenagers who sometimes like to sleep in and not eat breakfast, one of the best ways we have to get them to eat breakfast is they don't have to eat breakfast food. Breakfast does not have to be breakfast food. You can have eggs for dinner. You can have a sandwich for breakfast. I mainly want that balance of a protein, a grain or starch, and a fruit and vegetable.
All of these are good things. And I really like what you said there. It is a sometimes food. It's not an everyday food. There's no bad foods. You just got to manage all of that. Thanks for putting all those things into context for us, Dr. Skelton. We appreciate it. We thank you for your questions as well that you texted in.